holdout is over. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers have come to an agreement. We're going to go over the details of that contract here in a moment. But the Packers, by doing so, made a huge statement to the rest of the NFL. If you are new to the channel, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so by doing the action of giving Jordan Love this massive contract, the Packers told the rest of the NFL, hey, listen, we know this dude is legit. We are not a stranger to Hall of Fame type level of play here in Green Bay. First, Brett Favre, then Aaron Rodgers. They clearly see that Jordan Love has all the stuff. We're not privy to what goes on behind closed doors. They see that this dude has the maturity of what it takes. They've seen it in Aaron Rodgers. They see the hard work that this guy puts in the field. They see his leadership skills and just really perfecting his craft. They do so. They see that and they're like, listen, we've got another Hall of Fame type of quarterback here in Green Bay. We need to just get this guy solidified and cemented in for the next 4 years. We see that this guy has got the stuff. The rest of the NFL better be on alert. We've got that next Hall of Fame caliber quarterback coming in here. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Jordan Love. I love it. I think the contract is, it is what it is. I want you to leave your comments. Did the Packers overpay, or did they act too quickly on getting this guy under contract? Of course, Jordan Love, 4 years, 220 million, 155 of it is guaranteed. Joe Burrow had 219 of his contract guaranteed. Yes, he is the highest paid quarterback. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and Jordan Love all making $55 million a year, all three of the richest quarterbacks in the NFL. But NFL record-setting signing bonus for Jordan Love. He gets $75 million in a signing bonus. So leave your comments. Let me know. Did the Packers act too quickly? Did they sign him too prematurely? If you think that the Packers, acted too quickly, well, let's give you a history lesson here, because if you remember, Brett Favre is the quarterback in Green Bay. And then the Packers, Ted Thompson drafts Aaron Rodgers when he did, gets him, Brett Favre was playing MVP type caliber play out on the football field when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. They saw the potential in Aaron Rodgers. They do that. They let him sit. We know that the Packers are amazing at just developing quarterbacks, and the rest of the NFL needs to really take some cues by that. So they do that. And then Aaron Rodgers playing MVP type caliber play. They draft Gutekunst, goes and drafts. He sees what Ted Thompson did. He goes and drafts. He sees that Jordan Love has got the stuff. He's got the talent. They do that. They let him sit under Aaron Rodgers, who's the best in the game. They let him season behind him, learn. And so they do that, right? So anybody who thinks they prematurely signed him, well, if you remember Aaron Rodgers, he did the same thing in only those 7 games in. Aaron Rodgers was 4-3. He threw 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions at the time that they gave him an extension of 5 years. So very similar to what happened under Ted Thompson and with Aaron Rodgers. Only though Gutekunst waits a little bit longer. Jordan Love through 7 games was 2-5, a little bit different, but had a much more successful latter half of the season. 18 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. He makes it to the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers didn't make it to the playoffs. And then he goes into Dallas and just absolutely annihilates Dallas on their home field, and then almost knocks off San Francisco, the hottest team in the NFL at that time. Almost knocks them off on their home field. Jordan Love certainly has got stuff. Then you got Aaron Rodgers making the playoffs year 2. What is Jordan Love going to do year 2? The Packers just know what they're doing. They do things as a franchise. They do things differently than the rest of the NFL. I am super excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. So what did Brian Gutekunst have to say about the extension of Aaron Rodgers and them getting under contract? It says right here that he says, a nice thing about having a guy in your building for the last 4 years is you absolutely know who he is. There's no guarantees about anything going forward, but we know that he's going to we know how he's going to respond. We know how he's going to react and how he's going to work. Instead of signing a player that has not been in your building and guaranteed all of that we've seen in Jordan Love. We know how he's going to respond to pressure, all of that stuff. Certainly having 4 years with him, I think it gives us a lot more comfort and what he's all about and how his teammates look at him and the organization looks at him. Well said, Brian Gutekunst, because here's the thing, at the end of the day, we certainly do not know what the Packers again are privy to behind closed doors. So and here's the difference with where the Packers are currently at right now. They are built very good. They're built differently. When you take a look at just their wide receiving core, Christian Watson, the verdict is out on this guy. We're going to probably see a true testament of how good Christian Watson is. We've seen glimpses of it throughout his career when he's able to be healthy and stay out on the football field. We know that the Packers have taken every off season to work on Christian Watson's hamstring issues, soft tissue issues, and they think they've got it honed in and figured out. Hopefully they do. They've got Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs is one of those guys that just really is probably the most consistent Packer player out there. You can rely on his hands. He created so much separation later on in the season. It was jaw dropping. Who knows how good Romeo Doubs really is? He's so young. They've got another young one of my favorite wide receivers, if not my favorite wide receiver, just because this dude is, I feel, a better Randall Cobb. Jaden Reed is just, you can use him in so many different ways. He's his speed, all of that. Dontavian Wicks, another guy that the Packers seem to be very high on, another young guy that the Packers have. When you start looking across, this is the deepest wide receiving core out there, I feel. When you just talk about the depth on the team, the Packers don't have a true number one guy, but because all of these guys could probably step up and be number one guys, as they've shown last year, it just depends on which game, which makes it very difficult for defenses to really just plan accordingly. So then you've got guys like Luke Musgrave out there, your tight end, Luke Musgrave. This is the most athletic tight end the Packers have had since Jermichael Finley. This is a guy that I feel can create so much separation with his athleticism. And then you've got a guy like Tucker Kraft who can come in there and block, and he's got great hands as well. Not to mention you've got a guy like Bo Melton, who we've seen what he's able to do. We saw what he was able to do last season for the Packers. He was able to step in there when called upon, and we know what he can do. So where does Jordan Love now stack up amongst the rest of the NFL quarterbacks out there? Well, let's take a look. Trevor Lawrence, 55 million. Joe Burrow, 55 million. Again, we've talked about what Trevor Lawrence, I'm sorry, Joe Burrow had 219 of his monies guaranteed. Jordan Love, 155 guaranteed. Jordan Love tied again for the highest paid quarterbacks out there, $55 million. Is he worth it? Again, leave your comments. I wanted to know what you guys think. Tua just signed that deal, 53.1 million, right behind all of them. Jared Goff kind of set the tone, $53 million out there. Justin Herbert, 52.5. Lamar Jackson, 52. Jalen Hurts, 51. When you take a look at the rest of the NFL quarterbacks out there, this is, the Packers knew what they had in Jordan Love. They weren't willing to let this guy go. They know what they've got in this guy. I'm super excited about it and super pumped to see what the Packers are going to do for the next 4 years under Jordan Love's leadership. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And as always, go Pack Go.